Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cards, because Commander's number one, and I am one of your hosts, Sherman.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Casual Jake.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, we got someone else on here. Woo!
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, guys. Thank y'all for inviting me. I'll just do a quick blurb about myself. I'm a content creator. I make YouTube videos. I'm active on Instagram, Twitter, all those sorts of things. And I'm also a blog writer for Into the 99, and you'll be seeing some collaborations with us. So they asked me to come on here, do some video editing, and be part of their podcast this episode, and I'm super glad to be here.
Yeah, oh, we're so excited, man. Like, you writing articles and everything, we're just like, yes, more people!
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
okay,
so far the collaboration's been great. I have to say I'm really enjoying it. So
it's been fun.
Yeah, it has actually.
Yeah.
I love how the ideas behind the blogs, everything from all of our writers, it's always been one new thing after another. Like Zach with his last or his first article, referencing a character from Magic and relating it on a basis of what he does to a Marvel character. I really enjoyed that intertwining.
And it's such a unique thing, when you get creative people doing stuff like that. You're bringing content that's not normally out there. People write deck text and people write, articles about the metagame. But when you get someone who relates like a pop culture, icon or figure to Magic, like that's just fun. People want to read about that. People want to engage in that because that's just cool.
It's fake news.
Oh, it's so cool.
So today unfortunately we're missing Daniel and Hope. Until next week, it's we have the keys to the kingdom, right? So what do you guys want to talk about today? No, today we're bringing it's 1 week. M21 launches next week.
Yes,
I think so.
Man, it feels so crazy because, you had the delay was Ikoria, and then 2 weeks later, it's like boom, like M29 or 21.
Well, it's so. Would you say that it's in a week or 2 weeks? Because we have this whole week, and then it releases the week after that on July 3rd. It says.
Oh yeah, that's right. So 2 weeks then.
Like 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 2 weeks or so.
What? But these things almost started getting spoiled the day after Ikoria launched.
Right, and now we're in the Jumpstart category. We're never gonna stop getting spoilers.
Do you know what? I think of the meme when it comes to this of the guy who's already turning around with his girlfriend to look at another girl.
Right.
It's the next set. Yeah.
We started dating a day ago and already hello.
Yeah. No, Jumpstart happened literally the day after these spoilers finished, and it's just insane. Not that I'm not excited for all of these products. It's just my wallet is crying in my pocket as we speak.
Yeah, I think everyone's suffering from wallet fatigue right now. Especially considering a lot of us worked from home, or some of us were laid off, unfortunately, and we're starting to feel it. I'm definitely feeling it. Me and Brian, our cars got demolished from a hailstorm, and we're waiting for insurance to pay us and everything and all that stuff. So, but neither here nor there. We're going to talk about M21 today, and like usual, we're going to go in order from the rarities, like always. So, and we want to see what everyone's opinions are for each of these.
Yeah, guys, like always, I totally belong here. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, so
No, I got you.
We were actually talking earlier that me and Jake really haven't looked at the spoilers. We actually like to be surprised. So
I've seen 3 cards. 3 cards so far. That's it.
This is going to be a pleasure then.
Oh, okay.
I'm mostly about. I know a lot of the big reprints. So I'm really excited. The new cards are the ones that I'm not as familiar with. So I'm super excited to get into this.
So let's start this off. So I think what we'll do is we will just read one card at a time, make sure it goes nice and even and smoothly. I guess cool. I will dub myself first.
Oh boy, Your Royal Highness.
Actually, do you know what? We should let our guest go first. So
there you go. Yeah,
that's the more Canadian thing, right?
I was gonna say, well, that's also very Texan of y'all. I do reside down here in the South, and that's just gentleman like of you to let me go first. So I appreciate that. Well, howdy, y'all. Yeah, so I guess we'll just get started with the first card here then.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah.
So this one is a reprint. I know about this one. This is Bane Slayer Angel 3 white for a 5/5 angel with flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and from dragons. What do y'all think of this card? Because I definitely am excited for it.
I think I've
go
had
ahead,
it
Brian. You go ahead.
I had it before. I don't think I ran it really because it's occasional or it's a planned game when someone brings out, like, say, a tribal dragon or like Hope has
Or
one.
demon.
I've never played against it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's very
Right.
hit and miss. Like, but sometimes like mono black decks, like they're going to have some demons.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I guess I will quantify my statement with I'm excited, as I think in constructed formats that are non-commander. In commander, this is an okay card. You know, I mean, it's got a slew of words on it, but
Yep.
you know, I've seen this as like the top end of, like, you know, some like blue white control or Esper control kind of finisher, in vein of Lyra Dawnbringer kind of stuff. So for that, I'm excited. I'm also excited because my girlfriend has an angel tribal. So when they print angels,
Ooh.
she's happy. I'm happy. It all works out. So
The way I look at this is that the protection from demons and from dragons is just a bonus, okay? Because
yeah,
let's look back at Magic's history, okay? Sarah Angel, one of the first angels out there that everyone's just like, it's iconic, you know, because it's the same casting cost for 5 mana, white, 3 colorless, okay? And it's a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance. This, for the same mana cost, 3 white, it's a 5/5 angel with flying, first strike, lifelink, and then it has protection from demons and dragons. So even if you don't get any benefit from the protection from demons and dragons, it's still a flying first strike lifelink. It's still really, really awesome. It doesn't have vigilance, but who cares?
Yeah.
So
There's lots of things to give vigilance tokens now.
yeah.
And again, Wizards is coming out and nailing it with alters or extended art.
Yeah. I like the extended art. The style that they're going with is really, really nice. You know, I like it because it just to me, the extended art feels like a Magic card. Like, it feels magical. You know, the fact that they kind of take that border away. I mean, the uniformity of it all is really, really lovely, and I get that there's a function to it. But when you just take away that border, and suddenly it just feels like a real, like an angel. I don't know. Maybe I'm fantastical in my head.
No, it's like, I totally get that. Like, I just love the look of it. It's just like, you know, how can I say it kind of feels different, you know? Like, when you pick it up and you pick up like the way you pick up a borderless one when it's a full art, you're just like, you're grabbing the edges instead of just grabbing the card, right? Because you just want to, like, yes, hello, you're so pretty. So
and
yeah,
automatically into a sleeve.
Right. Yeah, I feel like the border sometimes just kind of, and again, to varying degrees, people like the flavor versus function. You know, I'm sure many pros just prefer a good functional card that they can read, and they can see in their hand and shuffle and do all that. But the magical aspect, you know, it just feels like the border breaks the fourth wall sometimes. So when we do away with that, it almost feels like I'm a little bit more just in the realm, in the planes, in the multiverse, if you will.
And let's face it. As a commander player, like, we all like to bling out our decks. Okay, if we see a foil copy of something, we're gonna buy it as opposed to the regular one. Or if there's alts that we see and we love, we're just gonna get it. And this just kind of like helps us. You know, we just see it as just like, yeah, we're gonna bling out our deck even more, because like the decks tend to be part of our personalities, I find. So.
Like my fully foiled mill deck when back when we played Modern.
Back in the day. Oh, so nut. It was annoying, but it was so
it was
sweet.
Gorgeous. So we'll continue on. So second we have I'll probably butcher this guy's name, but Basri.
I've heard Basri.
I'm just your redneck that doesn't know how to pronounce things. But we got Basri, the devoted paladin. So legendary planeswalker. So +1 is to put a +1/+1 counter on, what is that? On up to one target creature. It gains vigilance until end of turn, and then its -1 is whenever a creature attacks this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then -6 is creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain flying until end of turn. And it already comes in at 4,
Yeah. So this is going to be one of the Planeswalker decks that come out, you know?
Yep.
So
That's
it's not bad.
if
For
it's
a
in a,
Planeswalker deck, not bad.
if it comes in with a, say like a, you play in a green-white deck and you have that doubling season out and it comes out with 8, you can instantly minus it. And then you're giving
Yeah.
yourself +2/+2 and flying if you got enough stuff out already.
But you can do that with a lot of Planeswalkers with doubling season, right? So
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I like that ability though. Plus, if you drop it out, if you have tokens, green white, there's lots
Yeah.
of tokens.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was thank you. I was just gonna say that for me, the Planeswalker deck, Planeswalkers have always just been, in my opinion, overcosted for Commander play. They're super cool, and I mean, I know in Commander that we're doing a lot with our mana. We're making a lot more mana than other formats. But still, just the effects to me to these are cool when you play the Planeswalker deck against the other Planeswalker decks. You know, outside of that, to me, they just feel like I could be doing more for 6 mana.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention he is 4 and 2 white, and that does not make the cut.
No, but the next one though, maybe. Okay, because the next one is once again it's himself again, Basir, whatever, Basri Ket. Okay, 1 white. Okay, Planeswalker comes in with 3 loyalty. A +1 ability is put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. It gains indestructible until end of turn.
Oh yeah,
Which is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, off the bat, that's already really, really cool. All right. Then its -2 is whenever 1 or more non-token creatures attacks this turn, create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens are tapped and attacking. That is sick. Okay, I attack with 3 creatures. I get another 3 1/1 soldiers also attacking. I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially when
and
he
then,
only costs 3.
Oh yeah, and you're in white, so white weenies gets white weenies and then tokens. It's just like all crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then let's face it, white has the most board wipes. So when you think about it, you can wipe the board and just like amass a huge army again.
Yep.
Easily.
Yeah, it has that rebuild factor.
Yeah.
Or you
So it
just
doesn't
Furious
have-
Protection away and then still have all your stuff.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh yeah. Okay, and its ultimate -6 is you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Wizards.
Wow.
Wizards. We need emblem destruction.
What? No, but like, it's really, really difficult to get it up there, right? So
all it is again is one that you throw in with green, have the doubling season. It comes in with 6, and you get your emblem.
Okay, but you have to play in green first, okay? And green, let's face it, green. I know, you're green-white, okay? I'm innocent.
You're going to make me prove my point.
I was gonna say a bunch of Commander players would agree with Brain there that green is a powerful and very popular color in Commander.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
the reason I want the emblem destruction is the Chandra. As soon as I get her out, I can start putting the emblem on. That's 1 damage every turn.
So you're still salty about when I killed you with the emblem? I'm just kidding.
Oh no, it's in my Mogus deck too. I'm totally down for the Stacks Death thing, but
I get you. Yeah, I think and emblems will continue to be a topic of discussion. I think for a while because I don't see them going away soon. But I
Standard,
see both sides.
In Standard, it makes sense. An emblem does its job, but in Commander or something, we have 40 life, and there's a whole lot of interactions going. All of a sudden, I'm getting something that even if I die, you guys still have it. And you're going around the turn getting pinged. And there's I know that there's other ones that have
just the Chandra one.
I know.
It's only gonna if you die, then technically, then at this point the emblem becomes ineffective because you're dead.
No, still gonna kill everyone else.
But okay.
Go ahead.
I before I forget this one because I already forgot before. But if we were to have a spell to remove emblems. let's say we had to pick only one color. If we had, like, I personally would say put it into white, because white is kind of one of the weaker colors in Magic for Commander.
Okay.
Right? Like, everyone's like already like, okay, we want more like land draw and card draw and all that stuff. Okay, we understand Boros is really weak. Okay, give it to white. Right? Because like mono red can still do stuff. We still see a fair amount of mono red decks. Mono white, not so much, right? Give it to white if there is going to be some sort of emblem removal.
Yeah.
So that's what I say.
I think that's an interesting take. That, you know, like you said, to bolster White's prowess in the format, give it something that's super powerful that not every color has access to. And Emblem Destruction is, I think, a great one. Here's the thing, though. So now, do you run it in every deck in case they do run an Emblem Planeswalker, or then are you really playing with 98 cards if no one's playing Emblem Planeswalker?
That's a good point.
You know,
but that's the risk you take.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then, so for me, I wouldn't play that card if it only affected emblems, because for me, I'd rather work through the emblem and have a card that has more versatility to optimize my deck to where we get to the point to where they don't emblem. And I think when it comes to commander emblems, the other kind of argument for why they're not too bad is there's 3 turns before that Basri, you know, ticks up again. Or, you know, I mean, yes, there's the doubling season, but there's 3 turns where people can work together to keep
scenario specific.
Yeah.
Plus,
certain scenarios where it's busted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, it's busted. It can be busted, but at the same time, now you're the target. The moment you do that, the moment you throw that out, and people know you're like you throw out doubling season, and people know you're playing Planeswalkers, you're the target. You're target number 1.
I'm always the target.
So. Oh, yeah.
Because you do stuff like doubling season into Basri Ket.
Yeah.
Stop doing that then.
Shh.
So don't shush, man.
Along with that art of Basri Ket, we have 2 other ones. What I think one is an extended art, or say full art, or it's a border extension. And then
hot.
And then is this one that they redid? It's an older version of the Planeswalker, or is this actually new?
It's new, because if you look at the bottom hologram, it's different.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm guessing this is going to be like a collector's set or something like that. That's my guess.
Like a showcase thing.
Yeah,
maybe?
Almost like a showcase kind of deal. Sort of like, remember with Throne of Eldraine when they had like the full art of the Planeswalkers, but they're like the statues?
Oh, yes.
So same deal here in my opinion. So, more bling.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I definitely like the full art one. Like, if I pull one of these, I'm going to be super happy. And again, from a constructed format, like, this is going to be, I think, really cool in mono white weenies. You know, turn 1, 1 drop. Turn 2, 2 1-drops. Turn 3, Basri Ket. Now you get double, you know, you get...
And you have the blockers out.
In. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a cool card overall, and I think it'll continue to have that debate of are 3-mana walkers busted, and they can be, definitely.
Yeah. If you want to proceed, Jake.
Yeah, for sure. So I am going to talk to us. I think this is another Planeswalker card. Do we want to hit this one from the Planeswalker deck, the Chandra? Sure. Yeah. So this is Chandra Flames Catalyst for 4 and 2 red. It has +1 Chandra Flames Catalyst deals 3 damage to each opponent. -2, you may cast target red, instant, or sorcery card from your graveyard. If the spell would be put into the graveyard this turn, exile it instead. And then the -8, the ultimate, is discard your hand, then draw 7 cards. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Wow, talk about Christmas land. And this one does start at 5.
Yeah, that's nice. But again, I think the 6 CMC really...
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 CMC is always going to be tough, especially, but it's a Planeswalker deck, you know. It's for people that are getting into Magic. Let's face it.
My question is, who's ramping in red?
Right. Well, I
do.
There's all those other Chandras. If you build Chandra Tribal that add extra red mana for this and extra red mana for that, so
that's true.
Chandra Tribal is fun.
Put it in your Chandra Tribal EDH decks.
Yeah.
Then. Oh, sorry.
What? No, I was going to go on to the next card.
Yeah.
There's another Chandra, the better one.
Yeah, so next we got Chandra Heat of Fire. Or Heart of Fire. Sorry, just the heats here. So it's cost 3 and a red and a red. Again, it's a mythic. And it is so +1. Discard your hand and then exile the top 3 cards of your library until end of turn. You may play those cards exiled this way. Has 2+1s. +1.
Yeah.
Chandra's Heart of Fire deals 2 damage to any target. I like that. I don't like being limited on my shock spells on what I want to hit. That's like the one thing I don't like. Oh wow, -9. Search your graveyard and library for any number of red instants and or sorcery cards. Exile them. Then shuffle your library. You may cast them this turn. Add 6 fire mana or mountains.
Red mana.
Red mana.
Red mana.
Yeah, to your mana
Now,
pool.
yeah, this is an interesting planeswalker, I have to say.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Like I'd kind of just play red, just play it.
Well, I
The hard part.
I feel like it's a good red card overall. It does a lot of stuff that red likes to do. You know, this kind of looty or even exile off the top of your library. You can play it. I think this goes in a Spellslinger deck. You know, I think this goes with some sort of red blue, maybe even Jeskai kind of deck where you're wanting to play a bunch of spells. So that +1, that first one, you're going to get to play stuff off the top, kind of do some of that. And then eventually, I think you do want to ultimate this to win the game. I think that the ultimate here is very possible. I think the hard part will be protecting it if you are playing one of those Spellslinger decks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then just being able to bolt everything, where one target every
shock everything. Yeah.
Shock everything once a turn. If you can get it out, you can stop someone else. Yeah. You can stop adding someone else, like start removing other people's mana or mana producing, or like the minions.
Right. Yeah, I think planeswalkers. A lot of people rate them on can they protect themselves, and a planeswalker who can protect itself is a good one. And the fact that her protection is that yes, this shock, but that ability is also making her stronger with loyalty. That's kind of the sign of this is playable.
She can hit a planeswalker.
Yeah.
She can hit.
Yeah, any target. I just think it's interesting for the first ability, discard your hand, then exile the top 3.
You'd want to play your hand majority of the time, I hope.
Yeah, or if you have no hand, it's pretty good, but like red has a few cards like Hazard, where it's like you're not a creature until you have like 1 or less cards in your hand. Yeah. So stuff like this just enables it even better.
Yeah.
So
that alt art, I gotta say that one's cute. I like that one. It's you can see her shooting the firebolt there, the full art one, and that's cool. And I like it when they put the planeswalker like a little bit in front of like the title and stuff like that. Again, it kind of brings me into the planes, if you will, a little bit more.
Yeah.
The next one.
I like this one. Chromatic Orrery. So 7 mana though.
I was gonna say.
You're talking about
the other Chandra, the bottom of it, it has that real fire going around it. Like each of them are different.
I love that.
I like that, just like that little touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sherman.
All
right, Chromatic Orrery. Okay, 7 mana. That's a lot. Let's face it, that's a lot. Legendary artifact though. Okay, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. You can tap this for 5 mana, colorless mana though, okay? And for 5 mana and you tap it, you draw a card for each color among permanents you control. This is crazy. Is
there an artifact?
I think I have a little bit of a different opinion. I think it's okay.
Is there an artifact that gives all artifacts like affinity? Or anything along those lines? Like I'm trying to think of like ways to bring this mana cost down.
Oh, there's tons of ways of bringing this down, or like you can just cheat it out. Like there's like thematic, or not thematic. There's the one from Dominaria where like you tap 4 and tap it, and you play a historic card from your hand.
It's the man, I can't remember. It wasn't Thran something. I know what you're talking about, but you can play.
Yeah, Thran something. Yeah, but like there's so many ways to cheat this stuff.
Yeah.
So here's my argument for that, and I think it's good that we have these discussions. Is this really what you want to cheat out? If you get the choice to cheat something out, is this to me? Okay, so it fixes your mana. Cool. I don't know. I I guess I just have a hard time because I don't have too much of a problem with my mana bases. You know, if you're running signets and talismans, you know, do you really need a more expensive chromatic lantern? Yes, it comes with more, and you do get 5 mana the turn you play it. But
And
again,
it allows
getting
that
to
card
7
draw.
mana, you know, because I heard some people say that you get you know, you cast it for 2 mana essentially, right? But you don't cast it for 2 mana on turn 2. You cast it, you know, for 2 mana on turn 5 or 6.
Yeah,
So
I totally
I'm
agree.
skeptical, I guess, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I agree with that part. I personally would not be using it for, like, I would use it for the mana if I get a chance, but for the most part, I would do it for the card draw. So, and that's what I'm more focused on, right? Because, like, let's face it, this is going to go into a lot of decks that are just 4 colors or 5 colors, okay? Yeah. And the moment you drop it, like, you're gonna have a bunch of different permanents with different colors on it. You're gonna be drawing it quite a bit. Yep. So I look at this and I'm like, this is a cool draw engine. I'm gonna try to play around with it if I get the card, but we'll see. Like I agree with you. I agree with you 100% that it's like when it comes down to like paying 7 mana and you get 5 mana, like, you know, it takes like 6 or 7 turns. So it's like, yeah, but like I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the card draw. And for me, like, I love card draw. Card draw is like king for me. I'm like, it's like spicy.
It's like probably one of the most powerful things in Commander is refilling your hand, getting more cards to play, to answer threats, to present threats. And you're right. And you're right. The card draw on this, I think, is insane. It is good. Can be very good. I think in specific decks where you can guarantee that you're going to have, you know, 4 different colors of mana or 5 different color mana on the battlefield, as far as permanents go, and you're drawing 4 or 5 off this, then maybe it's more worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, so on to the next one there, sir. Whoa.
Next one!
Is this one me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is discontinuity. I don't know how to pronounce it. Brian's looking away because he doesn't want to laugh at me. It's okay.
Oh, no.
Discontinuity. There it is.
Hey!
Hooked on phonics, guys. The American education system has failed me.
Third time's a charm. I was going to say, aren't you a teacher?
I teach music, by the way, and we don't sing stupid words. I was gonna say we don't sing made up words, but this is probably a real word. Anyways, Webster's Dictionary hit me up for a sponsorship. So this is an instant for 3 and 3 blue. It says as long as it's your turn, this spell costs 2 and 2 blue, so it costs 2 less in total.
Oh wow!
To cast this, and it says end the turn. End the turn. That's it. Just end the turn.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people think, like, what does that kind of mean? But what it really does is it also exiles all spells and abilities from the stack. So if you have a crazy stack war going, you play this, and boom, it's gone. Including this card. The players who turn it is discards down to their maximum hand size. Damage wears off, and this turn until end of turn effects end. So if you have something that says at the end of turn this happens, well, that just doesn't happen because this continuity says nope, we're done.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
And you could do that. So that just, what was it? Thassa's Oracle that came out in the last set, or 2 sets ago?
It came out in Theros, yeah.
And then they print this 2 sets later. Just adding to the win combo. Just play this. I end the turn.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Sure. So I'm excited about it. It's kind of like in this tradition of big blue spells that are just busted, that are just crazy. You know, there's some utilities for it. One is ending on your turn for the 4 mana and then just winning the game, which, you know, is great in a lot of combo kind of stuff. But again, let's go to Christmas Land for a second. What if you know that your opponent is going to win the game next turn? You have this in hand, and you say, you know what, like. You know that maybe their win doesn't rely on a counter spell. You know, Aetherflux Reservoir comes to mind. You know, someone goes to spend 50 life, and they're going to target you with that. You play Discontinuity, they just pay 50 life, and that trigger just goes off the stack.
Yeah.
You know,
awesome.
Yeah, I think it could be cool. It's a lot of mana to do that. But I mean, again, we're Commander. We're playing lots of big spells. I think this is going to see play.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's going to. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to see play. I like the fact that they have it where it's 6 mana normally, so it's like 3 blue, blue, blue. But if it's only on your turn, it costs 2 and 2 blue less to cast. So like they're making it a trade-off where it's like, okay, if you're trying to stop someone else, it's going to cost you. So,
Right.
but at the same time, you're in blue. You always have your mana up. Let's face it.
Yeah, and again, I think it's big for combo players. So I know a big thing with people is like you said, the Thassa's Oracle, playing that, and then is that all going to happen? So you can play that, resolve it, and then before people can do anything, you just end the turn, and all your stuff goes, and you win. So I think that's I think it's going to be a cool. It's going to be again a big blue dumb spell. It's going to cause some headaches for some people, and make some other people laugh.
We're going to forget about it until someone plays it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And
That's gonna be me.
There's gonna be a lot of wait. That card exists.
Well, there's scroll. there are scrolls in it, Sherman. So you can throw that.
I know.
Your book tribal.
I love the fact that M21 has a lot of artwork with books and scrolls and papers and everything. Ooh,
wait
yeah.
until you see the Jumpstart lands. There's islands that are just straight up books.
Boom!
There
Yeah.
you go.
They've heard me.
Just tone it down a little. I know you're excited, sir, but
Ah, Sherman, you peaked those levels.
so next up we have the Elder. Okay,
Gargaroth.
Gargaroth.
It's not so easy.
No, but discontinue it. Blah blah blah. So it costs 3 and 2 green, and it is a creature. Sorry, it's a beast. Has vigilance, reach, trample. Whenever Elder Gargaloth attacks or blocks, choose one. I already love where this is going.
This card is
So,
so
create a 3/3 green beast creature token. You either gain 3 life or draw a card.
stupid. This is good.
Okay, create a 3/3. Awesome. Draw a card. Awesome. Gain 3 life.
Yeah. Ignore that one. They just had to make it ridiculous at that point.
That's fair. It's fair. Like, let's just say, like, if you come up with some sort of jank where gaining life matters in green, sure. Okay, I'll let that go.
Gaining life and everything matters.
Right.
But
Yeah, no.
for 5 man for a 6/6 alone with vigilance, reach, and trample is already really good.
This is
Yeah,
dumb.
if
It's a
it
good
just
card.
had that, I'd still run it in my Omnath deck or just like my big green creature deck.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think in Commander, so this is going to see standard play and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
whatnot.
definitely.
As far as Commander goes, so you have your turn, you play this, and then you have 3 turns before this comes around. I always talk about those 3 turns. Is what you're doing stacking up to everyone else's turn. You take 1 turn out of 4, so this de-incentivizes people to attack you because if you can block, then each turn you're getting an activation off this ability and you're getting stuff. So this really
it
de-incentivizes
has-
people from attacking you.
It has vigilance.
Right.
Holy
Yes,
crap.
it does.
So you swing, you get one of these abilities, and then you sit back and you say, "Cool, your move," and you see what they do.
Yeah.
And no one wants to swing in, unless they have something bigger than a 6/6, which is, they can, but maybe they don't.
Then you
Um,
jump block
they
with that
swing in.
3/3 that you created.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's also trample on it though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like even if you chump block, does it really matter?
yeah. This thing.
Oh
is,
no,
is a
I
behemoth.
meant you created that 3/3. If they swing at you with something bigger, you just chump block it with a 3/3
Well,
that
okay,
you
okay.
made.
Well, you have to block it with the Gargaroth. You have to block it, so you have to declare the block. But you
No,
can
I'm just
add
saying,
the
like,
Gargaroth.
in retrospect, I think we lost Sherman.
Oh no.
If you swing at them, they either
Gotcha.
you get that 3/3, and then they swing at you, and you go, oh, I'll just block that 3/3 again. Their big creature's tapped again. You just swing in
Yeah.
and make your 3/3.
And then you make another 3/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that his card's great.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to add Sherman back into this.
Sure. Do you want to keep going a little bit, or do you want to give it a minute for him?
Oh, there he
Oh, there you
is.
go.
Yep. He's learning
Oh,
how to.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
There he is.
Yay!
Well, good, 'cause you have a card to read, I believe.
Yes. Okay. So before we move on, just to mention both, again, border extension cards or altars for either of those 2 cards that we just discussed.
Yeah, looks great.
So yeah, Sherman, you get the next one.
Oh, so perfect. This card is gonna break so many decks.
Actually, I
So
should have
many.
read this one.
Ah, sucker, mine. Okay, fiery emancipation. 3 red. Enchantment. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player. It deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. Yeah.
Wizard, stop tripling stuff.
So
oh my gosh.
I'm just already thinking of my Mogus deck.
I'm already mad at your Mogus deck.
Mogus is out already. 2 damage every turn unless you sacrifice a creature. Oh,
Yeah,
on
6.
turn 6, if I get that point, or say, do you know what? We'll say turn 4 or something like that, because you have that mana, the one that makes 6 mana or 5 mana or something like that.
Yeah.
You could have this out a little bit earlier than a turn 6, but like just anything, even Bolt. I'm doing what 3, 6, 9 damage, or would it be 3 to 6 and then 12 damage?
No, it'll be 9. Just
It'd be
times
9,
3. Yeah.
Not with all my other stuff in my deck.
You know, this makes shock.
Yeah, that's true. Here's 6 damage.
1 mana 6. Now that all depends on you having Fiery Emancipation in your opening hand, or drawing into it early on to play it early on. But this card goes in red decks that want to hurt people really bad and really fast. I think of Torburin decks too. Effect like that. Where you put mana barbs out and you're doing damage to people for tapping their mana, and then you do this and it's just no one can play the game, or they die.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that.
I love it. Oh.
Yeah, and that one even comes with an alter art, which I love it. Just more like shadowing or like dark landscape in the front, because all you would see is shadow. It's so bright and fiery down there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jake,
cool.
you get the next one here.
Y'all keep giving me these Planeswalker deck ones. I'm gonna.
Oh, if you want me, I'll take this one.
No. I'm glad to take them. This is I'm just playing. This is Garrick, Savage Herald. He's for 4 and a green. I think you're seeing a pattern here with these 6 manas. But you reveal the top card of your library for +1. And if it's a creature card, you put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it at the bottom of your library. -2, target creature you control deals damage equal to this power to another target creature, so a -2 fight ability. And then the -7 says, until end of turn, creatures you control gain, you may have this creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. 5 loyalty. Next, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just I'm thinking of, okay, so that -7, you can get that on a stick, if you will, with what's the new one, the Wild Bonder, something, the one where it does that. The -2 is like, okay, a fight ability.
Fight strong.
It's a Planeswalker deck one.
Fight is strong. It can just get around a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, it still targets, so I can't get around hexproof.
Yeah, that's true, but I hate the 6 cost.
yeah. Honestly, I could see this being playable if it was 3 or 4.
Well, again, if it's a mono green deck, sure, because you're going to have birds, like all the elves. Like, you might even just run elves, and you can throw him in and be like, hey.
It's true.
Like,
get elves off the top, with that +1.
So next we have another Garruk Unleashed, which is much more reasonable. 2 and 2 green. And so +1 is up to 1 target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. It's essentially a giant growth with trample. And its -2 is create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Then if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on Garruk Unleashed.
Yeah.
Oh, so technically it costs -1?
It could be,
it could be.
Yeah, that's nice.
It
and then
could be a -1.
Yeah, then -7, you get an emblem. And at the beginning of your
ability.
Yeah, right. At the beginning of your end step, you may search your library for a creature card, put it onto the ballot. No.
Yep.
No.
Hell yeah.
No.
Put it on the battlefield.
And then you shovel. What?
Emblem destruction.
I will admit this emblem is wild. I mean, that emblem stays.
But it's a -7. Okay, Garruk comes in at 4 and only has a +1, so you have like a few turns, and it's a -7. So it's
that emblem.
It's not. Yeah.
The one thing
I don't know.
The one thing
What?
I'm loving is these altars.
Oh
These
my God, this
altars
altar.
are amazing. I love that full art with the bear and the wolf
Yeah.
next to him.
Can we
Oh,
talk about the glow up of the century? Like now he's a good guy again, kind of, or
yeah.
Yeah, the curse is
morally
gone.
ambiguous. Yeah, the curse is gone. He's like, yeah, I love it, and I love that they have a character from a lore perspective who's so burly and so intimidating, but he's a big softy for like, he respects nature, he respects life,
As we
even
all
though he does
should.
hunt. He yeah, exactly. I just think it's really cool that you would think he'd be like this barbarian, if you will. And he's kind of not. Like, I mean, I think in fact he's on a quest to go protect the Will and Rowan, the Kenneth kids or whatever. So,
Okay, interesting.
yeah. I know. I don't look at the lore too much, but I know that he's because Will helped break his curse, so now he's like going to protect them. After
Indentured to him.
away. Yeah, kind of.
So, Sherman, we're going to give you the book that everyone wants.
Man.
Yeah! This is the best episode ever! Grim, no offense to Daniel and Hope. I'm putting it out there. It's just everything's coming in circle for me today.
It's just y'all can take a vacation every once in a while. Sherman's saying.
Okay. Grim Tutor. Okay. 1 black. Sorcery. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, and shuffle your library. You lose 3 life. Now, granted, black tutors go hand in hand. This card, like, I think it's really, really good. Okay. I don't think it's overpowered or anything, but, like, I think it's a decent card.
Do you
I think it is a
deserves
decent
the
card.
price point that it has?
No.
Well, okay. So are y'all talking about the $200 price point? Because for that, I mean, and it's yes, this probably should have been reprinted earlier, but just the fact that it was only printed in this obscure starter thing in 1999 is why that's so expensive. I think this is long overdue for a reprint.
The demonic tutors 4?
Yeah.
4 mana?
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you any life?
Or not demonic, diabolic.
Yeah,
diabolic
diabolic,
tutor,
yeah.
2 black. Demonic tutor is 1 in a black, and then you have vampiric tutor, which is only 1 black.
So there's a tutor for every single mana cost apparently.
Yeah. And I think Grim Tutor is gonna optimize decks for people who run black and don't have the money for those tutors. I mean, I think this is strictly better than Diabolic Tutor, not Demonic Tutor. Diabolic Tutor. Yes, there's 3 life. It's Commander. That doesn't matter.
But again, like if you say my Yawgmoth deck, which I'm trying to make CDH capable, this just potentially allows me to go and I can remove one of those pet cards again, or remove something else and throw something in there for me to go and fetch exactly what I need.
Right.
To try to seal that deal, right?
More consistent.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to say, if they're gonna start doing more crossovers, I think for like just if they're gonna choose colors, black. Let's do like Ash vs. the Evil Dead or some Evil Dead stuff. I would love to see like a Grim Tutor Necronomicon or something like that.
Dude, this art is sick.
We're getting there, yeah.
Cool. And the alt art looks fantastic.
The alt is so nice.
And all that stuff.
I love the blue coming off, like the aura or like the magic sense, yeah. But it looks like the blood that's getting poured on it is like almost like powdering or like smoke. Like from looking at it, it just looks really neat. But
it's feeding it.
Blood.
So
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you get you get another one again.
So Brian has rigged this. He's like, I'll go first. You know what? Hold on, I'm gonna do the math. Jake, you go first. No, this is another Planeswalker deck face. This is Liliana Death Mage for 4 and 2 black. Sherman is losing it.
This is so awesome.
It's funny how this worked out. No, this is funny. It's a 4 loyalty. +1, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Decent. -3, destroy target creature. Its controller loses 2 life. Cool. You destroy a creature and there's some life lost. Great. -7, target opponent loses 2 life for each creature in their graveyard. That actually kind of makes me think that this could slot into a commander deck for some decks. I'm thinking. I did a YouTube video about Shovel. We talked about Shovel. We had a writer, Zach, talk about that too. You're killing a lot of stuff. this comes down late game. You've removed all the threats. You're continuing to remove threats. It's not too hard to get her up to 7, -7 her, and then just finish off the job.
Yep.
By getting that payoff of filling their graveyard already.
No, that sounds great, especially if you're even like for what each creature card in their graveyard. Yeah, so even if you're milling someone and they have a creature heavy deck,
Yeah.
and you're able to do that, you're like,
No.
oh no, you have 36 creatures in
Right.
there.
Or
Oh.
punish the graveyard deck. I have a Sidisi deck where I'm just like, wah, 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 wah. Someone pulls this out and it's like, okay, cool, ultimate it, you're dead. And
You're
I'm like,
instant
wow,
target.
Right. Now, and again, it does take a while for it to get up there, but it protects itself a little bit with that -3, which sets it back, but it does protect itself. And if you get some, you can get some stuff out of the graveyard to protect it as well. So I think it's a decent for a Planeswalker deck card. It's decent.
So next we have Liliana, Waker of the Dead, and again two altars for it on top of the normal art card.
I don't love the normal art, man.
No,
I don't know. There's something about it.
I like the
maybe
full
it's
art one.
gloves.
yeah, that full
Yeah.
art one, which kind of like she looks like she's making a sickle with her essence or whatever that might be. But we'll get to that later. So we have 2 black, and her +1 is each player discards a card, and each opponent who can't loses 3 life. So we see that on a lot of black cards.
Discard.
Yep, and the -1, target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Oof, that could be a big one to get rid of someone's like big boy. And then -7. I don't know why I keep getting these ones. You get an emblem. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Doesn't say that it leaves the battlefield. Amazing.
No, it stays.
Yep,
And a
amazing.
graveyard. Go
That's
steal
pretty
other
cool,
people's
actually.
stuff.
Emblem
Yeah.
destruction.
Only for white.
Yeah,
What is it? No, you know what, guys? I will say this real fast on the art. I know why I don't like it, because usually she has those little gloves, and you can have like her fingers out. This one's like her whole hands covered. It just looks wrong to me. I'm like, ugh. I don't
Oh
like it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you look on her alt art, she has like the fingerless gloves, and I'm like, oh, that's the Liliana.
oh, like
There's something
the
unsettling.
Yeah.
catches
Yeah.
on her
But this
thumb.
time it's fully covered.
There's
Yeah.
something unsettling about it to me. I'm just, ugh. But I think it's a good card. It definitely goes in the 99 for Tiny Bones.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Y'all call Daniel.
Yeah.
I know he loves that Tiny Bones.
I'm pretty sure he's in the chat right meow. He loves them tiny bones.
Oh yeah, he's totally in the chat. Yeah.
Sherman.
Okay, Bangara the Diplomat, 3 and a white for a 2/4 human cleric. Ooh, clerics again. And it has a life. Oh, it's a legendary as well. So it can be your commander. It has lifelink. Whenever a opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and/or a planeswalker you control, you get to draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you get to draw a card.
There's some value there.
I think this is just a good, fair card. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's underpowered. I think this is a good, clean magic, fair white card.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And
This card, I'm torn. So, because once again, like, with the color pie, and each color has certain benefits and limitations. Like cards like this show me that Wizards is listening to the audience, and they're almost like saying like, okay, here's more stuff for white for getting lands and card draw, and I don't mind it, but it's because it's 1 or 2 cards here and there. But when you have like after 20 sets, you're going to have like a huge amount of cards that say, oh, white can draw now. It kind of breaks the color pie, and they're going to be staples, and everything's going to become cookie cutter in my sense, or in my belief in that sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's hard because I think in every color you have instances where you can draw cards, and white just sorely lacks that. So I think that's one of the reasons why white feels so underpowered. You have red, you kind of have the looting effect. It's not as powerful, but it's like, a little bit better than no card draw.
Yeah.
Blue, just draw cards. Green, you can draw cards based on like power and toughness a lot of times.
Or
And
just creatures
black, a lot of
entering
times
the battlefield.
you pay life in black. So I think white is right now in an identity crisis. Is figuring out, okay, white needs card draw, but how are we gonna get it to get card draw? What are you gonna do? Gain life and draw cards? And so I think white is going. That's why I say this is a fair card. I think you're right, Sherman, that this is kind of a bit generic. It doesn't feel necessarily white. It just feels good.
Yeah.
And I think that as we go forward, I think Wizards is going to play around with that, and I hope that they keep stuff like this, and I hope they keep experimenting. I hope they keep looking for that identity.
So next up.
Oh man, finally I get a good one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. This one's awesome. This is a reprint. This is Massacre Worm for 3 and 3 black. It is a 6/5, and when Massacre Worm enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. Board wipe, that's going to punish them.
That's brutal.
Yeah, and that altar. Oh,
I think we lost Jake.
yeah,
Nope.
he's back again.
Yeah, back. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just a brutal card, and I mean, if you just look at that art, look at that mouth. It's just is ready to eat up some of those smaller tokens.
I love
and,
the altar one because it looks like he's smiling.
And he's like, cheese. But
that would be such a cool playmat. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I think 2 toughness isn't much to scoff at. You're gonna get tokens, most and more than just soldier tokens. You start getting into, some of those like the boar tokens and some of the bigger tokens with Massacre Worm, and then it gives you continued value of when creatures die. Not only that turn, but the turns preceding it. You're going to be draining your opponent for 2 life.
And then I guess I lucked out on this one. I get to talk about the bestest boy.
This is a good one.
So, Rin and Seri Inseparable costs 1 colorless, a red, a green, and a white. Legendary creature, Dog Cat. Whenever you cast a dog spell, create a 1/1 green cat creature token. Whenever you cast a cat spell, create a 1/1 white dog creature token. And then you can pay a red, green, and a white and tap it. And Rin and Seri Inseparable deals damage to any target equal to the number of dogs you control. And then you gain life equal to the number of cats you control. Except my deck would heavily outnumber the amount of cats to dogs.
Is that
but you can always put it
because there's better cats.
Oh, could you tell that they're walking by here? No, well, I already had a green-white cat deck, and it performed well. But then again, I'm usually winning by making indestructible horses.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, this is going to be, get ready to see a bunch of these commanders. It's just popular by virtue of it's cats and dogs. People are going to build this. And not that they're going to be bad decks. I mean, of course, not CDH, but even I don't see this being a deck that's even more powerful than a 6. I think it's cool. Maybe if you go the changeling route to kind of boost some of those stats. Maybe I'm wrong because there are a lot of good cats. I feel like the Rin and Seri decks that are stronger are going to be more cat focused, just because there's more powerful cats.
Yeah, I have to agree. There's way more cats in general, because like with the dogs, you get a few here and there, but the dogs tend to be more on the expensive side for the casting cost, and their abilities are meh, right? But the cats.
But there was that recent...
I haven't seen the jumpstart stuff yet, so sorry.
There's the recent change that all hounds are dogs now, too.
Yeah.
But even then, they're still...
Yeah, I still think most... Like, I can think of, like, one hound, and it's the legendary 1-drop 2/2 that I can't even think of the name of. But that's a good hound. I will say, if Jumpstart, though, if you are keeping up with that, there's a lot of dog support coming in. So I think that was very intentional with the commander.
Because they probably see that. But like, if it was me, I'd still play the cats. One of my favorite cards is White Mane Lion, where you get flash it in. It costs 1 and a white. It's like a 2/1 or something like that. But you get to pick a creature you control and put it back into your hand. So you just keep on flashing it in, picking itself, and bouncing it back to your hand constantly, right? Yep. So that's all I would do with this.
So we have a couple comments. So back to the Massacre Worm. Torb's Turrets mentioned morphs. Morphs are two
Uh,
twos.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, morphs are 2/2s. Yeah, so that could really kind of mess up the game plan for our morph players out there. I mean, that hits. Yeah, it hits a lot. Like I said, it hits. Generally when we think of tokens, we think of the 1/1s, but there are tokens out there that are 2/2s. I think Windgrace's ultimate, he makes 2/2 cat tokens, right? And so it gets rid of all those. So I think the fact that it's more than just -1/-1 makes Massacre Worm that much better.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that it'll get rid of all the zombies from Daniel's Field of the Dead.
Zombies, yeah.
So, and then back to, I believe this is in response to you mentioning, what's it called? No good
The one hound.
No good hounds. Daniel's mentioning Isamaru, Hound of Konda, and that he's loving Jake's take on this.
Yeah, I'm a pretty smart guy.
He should have a series called Jake's Takes.
I like that.
Ooh.
I like that.
We can do that. Well, I'll give y'all some more takes as we go on. Thank you, Daniel, for the kind words.
So, on to the next one, Sherman. You get what?
my
1, 2,
goodness.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's
You
so
get 9.
many.
Yeah, I think that this is a little bit overboard. I feel this is just overkill.
Now the question is, what's the difference between all of them?
So if you
I'll tell
look
you,
in the background,
I don't
go ahead.
care.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you look in the background, the weather light is different in the background. Sometimes it's more worn, and then sometimes it's less worn. So it's kind of playing with the aesthetic of the thing. Maybe you should read the card first so that people know.
Yeah, okay.
What
So
you're talking
everyone,
about.
those, yeah. Teferi, Master of Time, 2 blue for a legendary planeswalker with 3 loyalty comes in, and it has the ability of you may activate loyalty abilities of Teferi, Master of Time on any player's turn anytime you can cast an instant. So, normally you would you can only do it on your turn. Now you're doing it on everyone else's turn at the same time. The +1 here is draw a card and discard a card. The -3 is target creature you don't control phases out, so they're bringing back phasing even more now, which is really nice. But the -10, the ultimate, -10, take 2 extra turns after this one. 2!
Especially if you're able to play it on everyone's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, loot. And then even then, so you play Teferi on your turn, you loot on your turn, it's a 4-drop. Then let's say there's one, at least one threat around the board. You phase it out that turn, and then you just keep upticking. It's something that's gonna definitely. I think we're gonna see Teferi ultimates more often than not. I think it's definitely very ultimate-able.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's instantly going into Super Friends. Like, no one's not going to be running that. But here, I'm just going to scroll through so the stream's able to see all the different arts for this. And
yeah, I think
just amazing. Oh, so you leave me with the Planeswalker deck. So I get Teferi, Timeless Voyager, who is 4 and 2 blue. So his +1 is to draw a card. His -3 is to put target creature on top of its owner's library. And -8, each creature target opponent controls phases out until the end of your next turn. They can't phase in.
Yeah.
I actually love that.
So
I actually really love that.
That's like an anti-Teferi's protection.
Right. So to me, Planeswalker decks are like the next step after you get those little starter decks that are like 30 cards and you learn how to play. And so to me, someone who's just getting into Magic, who's like, oh, I want to learn about blue, plays Teferi, Timeless Voyager. This is what blue does best. Like This is just like blue, the Planeswalker, except overcosted. But still, you're drawing cards, you're phasing stuff out without really destroying it, and you're tucking stuff away. It's fun. It's cute.
For Teferi, Master of Time, Olive in the Sky mentions that he should come in with 1 loyalty.
Yeah, I mean, I think his loyalty starting at 3 maybe isn't even the worst thing in the world. I think it's especially that he's a 4-drop. If he was more expensive, to be, ticking up every time. I don't know how I would fix him. He's just crazy good.
Yeah.
I would make it a 5-drop at least.
Yeah,
So,
a little bit like a little one more expensive. Try
I
to.
feel a
yeah.
little bit better about that.
You get the next
All
one,
right.
sir. One that I think I might be super excited about.
Ooh, I get to talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Terror of the Peaks. 3 red for a 5/4 dragon. Flying. Spells your opponent's cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast.
Cute.
That's awesome. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. That's really awesome.
That's
This
an
is a
instant
really, really
add.
dope card.
That's an instant add to any dragon deck, dropping the big dragons and him just boo boo
Yeah.
boo.
I mean, it's Warstorm Surge on a stick, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
if you try to target it, please take 3 life.
pay 3 life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your removal now hurts you.
Yep.
That would
Exactly.
really that would really suck if you're the opponent and you're down to, like, let's say 2 life. You can't target no matter what now because it basically has like hexproof.
I mean, heck, you're down to 10 life. I don't want to be targeting this thing, because
That's
I
true.
target it, and even if they have a way to protect it or swing out with other stuff, then I just lose the game. Yeah, it puts you in that position where whatever choice you make is the wrong choice. There's better choices to make. Cards I think are better when you don't give an opponent choice. But in this case, the choice is kind of like I said. Okay, do I get hurt or do I get hurt? And in that case, you're winning. How bad do I want to get hurt? Do I want to 5/4 at me, or do I want to pay 3 life to remove this? And
Yeah.
I think the answer, by the way, if you're playing against this, remove it if you have the life. Do it because
Remove it at
it's
the
only
soon
gonna
as you
it's,
can.
it's only gonna get worse.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Terror of the Peaks does come in another awesome looking border extension. That's
Yeah.
the one that I'm going to be going for.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we have actually you get to bring this one in.
It's got this weird. I think it's Eugene. We've seen him a few times. Now this is Ugin, the Spirit Dragon reprint, something that people are super hype about. He's a legendary planeswalker. You probably already know, but in case you don't, he's 8 generic for a 7 loyalty planeswalker +2. Ugin Spirit Dragon deals 3 damage to any target. No one cares. The -X is where it's at. -X, exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. It's just a board wipe. It's an 8 mana board wipe that will probably stick around and get you more value. So that -X is a big deal because it comes in with 7 loyalty. You can pretty much hit most things, clear the board, and then start uptaking him and using him stuff. His ultimate it being -10, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Also insane. It's just good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
That's amazing.
Very, very needed. Very, very needed reprint. I have to admit. Like, I have an Ugin, and like it was super expensive and everything. Like, yeah, the price dropped, but you know what? I'd rather see more copies get out there. I'd rather see more people get stuff like this. So it's awesome.
Yeah. And what I like is each one of his border extension altars is a different art.
Yep.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. No, the border extension one that is the same art just looks so different because of the way that it's like colorless, kind of
pushed
that
back.
border and what. Yeah, it looks cool. And then the other one that we have here in the middle, he's kind of like holding this cool thing. It's so cool.
I don't know which one I like more.
A dragon with like an angel. Because he's kind of like a good dragon. So I always like how his feathery kind of wings remind me of like a bit of an angel to kind of signify like he's a good dragon.
No, really, I really enjoy the full art, like original print.
Yeah,
Like it's just different. Like,
So good.
Really different. So we're starting to get into the rares. We've hit the hour and 10 mark. So I think maybe we'll just try to do a couple more and then we'll call it there. So first off, we got this is one that I heard mixed reviews of on release or on spoiling. Animal Sanctuary, rare land. You tap it and pay 1 colorless, or you can pay 2 and tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on target bird, cat, dog, goat, ox, or snake.
Yeah.
I've heard that the cats look like they got photoshopped in.
A little bit, yeah. I think you throw it in. You throw it in like the Rin deck if you think that's what you want to do.
That's
but
where it's
even
going to
then
sit
I'm
best.
like, yeah. Even then I'm like, do I really want to pay 2 for a counter?
That you can do every turn though. And
Yeah, I
most
mean,
likely you're
well,
running green as well, so you're going to have the stuff that so hardening scales for 1. Oh, I get 2+1/+1 counters every turn now.
yeah, but you gotta keep paying into it. Is my thing. You know, do I want to use that 2 mana for a counter, or do I want to use that 2 mana for a 6 drop on turn 6? You
Or
know,
you just
It's
run
true.
Seaboard Muse in every single green deck, and you have no problems.
and then you
Ryan,
just
I
keep
can't
going.
because you own all the copies in the city.
Christmas land.
Yeah.
What's the next one, Sherman?
Azusa Lost But Seeking reprint, never dated one, 2 in a green. For anyone who doesn't know what she does, legendary creature, human monk for a 1/2. You may play 2 additional lands on each of your turns. Fantastic, and it has the extended art on it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this was originally sitting around $50 to $70 ish in around
It was
there.
pretty heavy up.
And it allows you to ramp hard, so that first land and then you can play 2 additional lands. Amazing for a 3-drop. Like, of course, like everyone's going to want that.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
So next,
Next up here we have I think a cool card, a neat card. We'll probably see some leading the 99, but if not, it's going to go in a lot of 99s for the wizard decks. This is Baron Talarian Archmage, which I think is again cool that they're revisiting old heroes of Dominaria and old Magic lore and bringing that forward. So I think he's actually the founder of Talaria Academy, so that's kind of cool. This was Teferi's teacher here. He's a legendary. I know a little bit about lore, so I sound a lot smarter than I am.
I know
Don't
nothing
know anything about cards. But this was the professor's preview card. He did a cool little video about it, and it's a 2/2 human wizard, and when it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. And at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. It makes me seem like you want to get stuff back into your hand and replay it for value. There's a lot of wizards that have enter the battlefield effects, so that might be good. But again, I think this is more of a put it in the 99 and use it in those wizards decks than this is going to lead the helm of my deck. Cool card.
So
okay, next one. Oh, go ahead.
So I think, like looking at them, go ahead. Let's do that next one.
Should we go? How many more rares are there? Because
we just entered the rares. Like there's so many mythics in this set. Like
I mean, I would say let's go up next to Brash Taunter because I think
that's the one that
commander.
That's the one that there's 2. So there's this one and the one next down that I heard a lot of people talking about, which I definitely believe that we should talk about here. So go ahead.
Let's talk about Brash Taunter here. Brash Taunter, 4 in a red for a goblin, 1/1, indestructible. Wow, indestructible. Ooh. Okay, when Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. And for 2 in a red and you tap it, it fights another target creature.
It's
very interesting.
It's such an expensive goblin, but it has indestructible.
Well, what I see are, and why people I think are so excited about this is, the combo-y kind of potentials, where it's doing damage to things, getting damage dealt to it. And then I wish I could remember the aura, but there's an aura that when this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to an opponent.
Stuffy doll and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of stuff like that. I think this was, compared to a better stuffy doll. Because it can fight, because it can trigger those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it goes in the Goblin deck. I think it definitely goes into combo-y decks that can abuse its abilities.
So the next one that I heard lots of people talking about, and just like the memes being made out of it, was the Conspicuous Snoop, right?
Yeah.
So it costs 2 red and a red, and it is a Goblin Rogue. And you play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library. As long as the top card of your library is a goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card.
That is really strong.
I wish this was a commander. I think goblin, tribal, is so one-sided to just play as many goblins as fast and stuff like that. I think this would be a cool commander because you could abuse the goblins on top and you kind of go, more into goblin abilities rather than I'm just going to make a bunch of goblin tokens like with something like Kranko. I think this is a really unique goblin. That's awesome.
But what
I
is
think
it?
it's
It's Goblin Sledder, right? Where you can sacrifice goblins and deal X damage.
Hmm.
yeah. There's no, it gets +1/+1.
Yeah, so if you have Goblin
Yeah.
Sledder on top, then you could just activate it off of that guy until you have to draw next turn. Like
Hmm.
it just
No,
allows you
like
to activate stuff a turn early, really.
well, what would be better though is just the fact that like it's you're playing with the top card of your library revealed, and you may cast goblin spells from the top of your library, right? So you have something like Goblin Recruiter, where you can go through your deck and search out as many goblins as you want, right, and put it on top of your library, and then
Oh,
just play them
yeah,
all,
that
Yeah.
right? So
amazing.
I think that's probably the reason why they didn't make that the commander, because that's very, very like Goblin Recruiter is a card that a lot of people will have in their deck in Goblin decks, right? So it's a card that R&D has known about. So they probably thought about that, like considering making this legendary, and they're like, let's
Yeah.
not, just in case. So, but it is still a really cool card. I like seeing that they're giving red like a way to do top deck manipulation in that
Yep.
sense,
Yeah.
where
Card
you know
advantage.
you can, yeah, card advantage like that. So and like it's very very specific. It's not like something like Future Sight or was it Future Sight or whatever, like where you can like just for blue you can enchantment you can play off the top of your library. It's not like that. This one's just like specifically like it's only goblins. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Um,
just a
Brian,
couple
I'm
like.
curious.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna ask how much more are we going? Because I'd love to hit some of these like
Oh,
reprints that are like super value wise at least.
Okay, let me know which one it is, and I'll pull it up. Because I was just gonna say like a couple like really nice looking ones. Was the reprint of the Containment Priest with the awesome extended art. That Cultivate art
Yeah,
is just
cultivate. Fabled
absolutely
Passage getting
amazing.
reprinted.
Yes, that's
Fabled
another one I was
yes,
gonna
Passage,
pull out,
needed.
a
especially
good fetch.
with that altar.
Yeah,
That
that was
altar
just
looks fantastic.
so cute.
Like there's just so much like beautiful
Heroic
cards.
Intervention.
Yeah,
Heroic Intervention. Great reprint needs to be reprinted. Oh yeah, that's a great card.
with that. Oh yeah, like we could just keep going on, and then like that other like oh was it Jorel? Like
Oh,
there's
that's gonna
just
be a fun deck.
fire in this set. Like I'm really looking forward to it, and I wish we had like more time to really dive in, and that we could get everyone else's input as well. But I think we should probably end it here. Uh,
Sure.
Please,
Yeah.
like listening to this audience or whoever might be or whenever, let us know your thoughts. Like even if the next set's out and you're finally getting around to listen to this one, let us know what you thought of that set. We'd love to hear it. And again, and exiting out, check out Casual Jake on YouTube and Instagram. You recently launched your Patreon. Um,
Nice, congrats.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Actually, so I do need to address that real quick because we're actually taking the Patreon away from Casual Jake. I'm gonna be partnering with some of my friends who I've been doing on my Twitch stream. We've been doing a show called Elder Dragon Skypelanders. There's a little echo, but we've turned that into a full brand. We're gonna be producing Magic content, and so we'll be starting a Patreon for that. So yes, please go follow Casual Jake. I'll still be doing things like this with Instant 99. I'll be doing my own deck techs and whatnot. But I will also be a part of this new group, Elder Dragon Skyplander. So follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. I think the Twitter is at EDSMTG. Check that stuff out. We'll definitely get some links when we can. And check out Elder Dragon Skyplander. It's a lot of fun. It's similar to Insta 99 in a lot of ways, but it's also very different. And I think both groups bring a lot of great things to the Magic community. And I'm honestly honored to be a part of both of them.
Yeah, and then also we've brought on Jake and four other of the Magic content creators. Well, I think mainly they're from Instagram. I
Yeah.
met one Necrozak off of another Discord group, but like they have all been releasing articles through this last week, and just the thoughts and ideas that are coming out of them are fantastic. Like. I'm always excited when I see it. I get the notification that a new article's dropped. Make sure you sign up on our website if you want to comment and also receive these notifications. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Our website has our links to everything and also our links to Casual Jake you can find underneath our lore page. And I think with that, we'll bid you adieu.
All right, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Jake, thanks again for joining us here. We definitely have to do this again. You're a great guest. You're so much fun talking to you. So
blush, Sherman. Come on.
You know.
He's buttering me up for something.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
Oh, goodness.
That's not safe for the Twitch channel.
I didn't say anything. But anyways, catch you all later.